Closing the St. Louis medium security jail or workhouse has been one of the main objectives for activists and their City Hall supporters. Taxpayers spend about $8 million a year to run the facility. It has about 70 people now. The population was thinned out in the name of making more space because of COVID. But we're coming up fast on December 31st, the date approved when Aldermen voted to have a plan in place to close the workhouse. Closing the jail was supposed to save the city about $8 million. It was later revealed the savings would be a lot less, about $1.5 million. Testimony by the Corrections Commissioner, Dale Glass, before the Aldermanic Public Safety Committee revealed new issues with a shutdown. Joe Vaccaro is the chairman of that committee.
Out of 140 some odd places he tried to be able to send them, the two places that would accept some of them was 3 hours away, was one of them. And the other one, I believe, was in Springfield, which is about an hour and a half away.
A longer commute for inmate family members who often don't have transportation. It would cost St. Louis as much as $65 a day for each inmate. And for those saying, just move the inmates to the downtown Justice Center, another snag. It would be crowded too.
Because there's still not enough room at the Justice Center. But they would have to be on what they call boats, which is basically sleeping on the floor in what we call a pallet.
Vaccaro actually paid a visit to the workhouse and talked to inmates.
I talked to them, and they seem to feel that they're not happy about the move. In fact, I think if anybody listened to them or they took a poll of them, they would say they do not want to be moved. They don't want to be moved from the workhouse to the Justice Center or to a jail 3 hours away from the city.
I talked to Lewis Reed, who was hoping to have the plan for closing the workhouse by the end of December.
How do you get around that? The situation won't be worse for workhouse inmates if you shut down the workhouse. How do you get around that, Lewis?
But, so I'll ask you the question. The reason they would have to be 2 and 3 hours away is what? That the facilities that are closer, in the metro area, would not be able to house them.
Is it possible that it could be another year or more before the workhouse is shut down, Lewis?
I don't think we're looking at that.
In your opinion, is the workhouse going to be closed anytime soon?
Based off of the public safety meeting, I would say not.
Reed says they still need to hear from a lot of officials about the prospect of shutting down the workhouse, including what, if anything, to do with this building if they do shut it down. A lot of unanswered questions as the December 31st deadline approaches to make a decision. Of course, I'll keep you up on this deal. After all, you paid for it.